necessarily understands the concepts. Something used about the difference between gender and sex, and the difference is actually pretty important. We aren't interested in not having genders that should be what you feel about people who think they were born with a different sex. We just want to get to what's scientifically accurate. When it comes to sex, there can really only be two. It cannot make up any more than that, because sex consists of the physiological characteristics, such as the actual differences in organs and the different hormones that naturally affect you. However, gender has always been a sociological construct. You can have as many of those as you want. It's got nothing to do with physical characteristics. Gender is really about how you feel, what attracts you, and other nebulous factors that are properly being physiologically measured. Number 6, the artificial intelligence scientists are building is not what we think it is. Artificial intelligence is probably one of the most misunderstood basic scientific theories in science. Movies have done an incredibly good job of twisting people's understanding of artificial intelligence, and unless you've studied computer science, you might not realize quite how silly and wrong most movies have this. In movies, artificial intelligence reaches some sort of consciousness, and people are quite used to this image of AI.
Morning.
To make matters worse, the news will get quick clicks with headlines about a famous scientist being worried about the rise of AI, and then people will start worrying about Terminators or something like that. Now, there is some reason to be worried about AI. The researcher expects them to reach actual consciousness, because it's just not how it works. Rather, the goal of AI research is to make it better at tasks, organizing the flow of various goings-on without having to have human intervention. The fear of experts is AI making bad decisions after control of important infrastructure, not because they're transcendent conscious beings and they're being malicious. What the big problem is that they make stupid mistakes because they have a lack of context and they don't see the entire picture as human. There's also the problem that their thinking could be unpredictable.
Okay,
Number 5, survival of the fittest isn't about strength or immunity, but characteristics. A lot of people talk about the theory of natural selection.
This here's one of my bookcases, which you can't see because I'm just, hi cat, and that's a cattail. Primer now. Yes, we see
However, this is
you.
only really the case if those characteristics are what are most likely to
So, this bookcase right here, I've got two
characteristics for the environments that they live in.
peach crates, basically. I did used to use them for storing my records, which are in that general direction. But then I got new shelves for my records. Well, new to me, as in, like, oh gosh. My favorite record store closed last year, the week of my birthday too. So, and yeah, that was my favorite one. It was PJ's Dudes Records out on Packard in downtown Ann Arbor, and basically at the beginning of the month, the landlord just sprang on them that where did the other, there it is. So at the beginning of July of 2018, like I think he said, I think one of them told me right after the 4th, and maybe it was just before the 4th. No, it was right after, because Jeff had mentioned that he had it was run by two brothers at some point. If you're from the area, the PJ that is the namesake of the shop was PJ Ryder, who owns PJ's Lager House in Detroit, and I think they've got a vegan brunch there once or twice a month on a Sunday, or maybe it's a vegetarian brunch. I don't know. They've got a brunch there regularly, and but yeah, they bought out PJ's share. Basically, he sold it to them because he wanted to go do other things than run the shop, but they kept the name of the shop because it was just a catchier name, and their names are Jeff and Mark, and I don't know, there's no way to like MJ's Used Records, but then what happened? So the landlord just straight up sold the whole building, like including on the ground level of the building. So the first floor, his daughter had a bakery that was actually doing pretty well. And then they were on the upstairs floor. But he sold the whole building to somebody who wanted to just basically make a medical marijuana dispensary. And I don't know why they needed the whole building for this, but I don't know. So yeah, he ended up so yeah, they basically had to liquidate the entire stock. They ended up selling out everything that was left to some friends of theirs, some other friends of theirs who had moved to Chicago and started a record store. So they sold it all to the record store in Chicago. I came by like maybe a couple days before my birthday and bought everything left in my pull that I could because I'd been a regular for, oh shit, how old am I now? About 25 years. I've been a regular for about 25 years. So like I could like hold things behind the counter and just buy them as I could afford them. So yeah, Mark just gave me like 20% off everything in my pull or at least, as much as I could afford from it anyway. And so yeah, then that's what happened. That's why I have shelves there. So the peach crates that I mentioned here, I've got a lot of these beautiful Barnes & Noble editions of things. Just about everything in the Barnes & Noble editions are things that I definitely intend to read. Actually, this... oh, okay, I do have... Okay, so this is an older Barnes & Noble edition of, just like one of their little budget classics editions, but it's also contained in this edition, so this is definitely something that I don't need. So there we go. First book in the shit I need to get rid of stack. And, nope, I'm keeping my dolls. I've got Roald Dahl's The Witches. I don't know how that's in this shelf here. I don't know how, because it's not supposed to be. That's... Wait. Where the fuck is... Oh, never mind, there it is. What the hell are these doing?
Fake back score. Fake back score. Put your hands
so,
together. Fake back score. We did this
did Isaac read that? I don't know. I don't know if Isaac was reading that and that's why it's there now, but that's that's the only explanation I have for why that's there, because it's not supposed to be. So let's see, we've got this is being very loud.
But it's 100% not true. Based off that, I will Photoshop
okay. So yes, see, we have a Marcus Didas Falco novel, Saturnalia. Davis Makes Rome Live, from author of See Delphi and Die, by Lindsay Davis. When in Rome, death takes no holiday. 76 AD, during the reign of Vespasian and the Roman festival of Saturnalia is getting underway. The days are short, the nights are for wild parties, but not for informer Marcus Didas Falco, whose job is to uncover unwelcome truths and deal with sensitive situations, frequently at the behest of the imperial government. Okay, I've had this for forever, and it looks like it is part of a series. So, where the hell did I had sticky notes. But, and I'm going to find them. So I'm going to start my maybe pile here, and then I'm going to, when I find my sticky notes, I'm going to put like right inside the cover of the maybe pile books, a sticky note that will let me know, with a date on it. And I figure, I'll have 6 months to make a decision about that book, and wherein it will either move into the yes, definitely want to read or reread or otherwise keep, or it's going to go into the please get rid of this pile. Why do I have the Suki? Oh, that's right. I got all the Suki Stackhouse books that were in a free pile at the library, and and then because they were free, and then I started reading, and I realized that these are not very good, and so
here's a cool one. Recent research has proved that Jack Sparrow's forehead is actually
Prophetic International bestseller, Gore Vidal's Kalki,
So obviously that's
the terrifying tale of a demonic cult leader who sought to create a new race by destroying this one. Oh my gosh. Who is Kalki, and why is he planning to destroy the world and everyone in it? Why is the beautiful Teddy Ottinger flying to the top of the world to meet Kalki and his cultists at Kathmandu? Why are the oh my gosh, this... See, I picked this up from either the free shelf at the library or on LFL in the area because it's Gore Vidal. And I do love Gore Vidal, so this is at the very least a maybe. I'm gonna, when I look through more of this, I'm gonna...
This kind of works because I think he came up with Terminator in a dream. So like,
some of these are covered in diatomaceous earth because bugs, right? It's basically flea powder. It's not the best at controlling bed bugs, but so... Okay, this is technically a reference. I'd love to keep it, but the question is... oh wow, this... Wait, no.
Do you know that? Guess what?
Did I get this? Did I get this in Lansing? Oh, thank you so much. I don't know why people enjoy watching my streams. Okay, so oh, Grand Rapids. Okay, so no, I didn't get this in Lansing. I thought this, because it has a Schuler's books bookmark in it, but it only has the Grand Rapids address. So my guess is it is still in there from the last person who bought it, which also means that the Schulers in Lansing is a relatively new one, because the only time I would have gotten this out of Schulers is if it was the one in Lansing. So so let's see. This is this here we've got a book, Butterfly Gardening, with I guess recommendations. Let's see, turning your garden, window box, or backyard into a beautiful home for butterflies. Now, I need to do a little bit more looking around because I'm on the 3rd floor. I don't know how high of an elevation is too much for butterflies. I would really love to have some plants hanging over the edge of my balcony for butterflies. That would be wonderful. But I need to check the elevation. So, just in case I'm up too high for butterflies, I'll have to take a rough estimate. Or you know what? No, I don't have a tape measure long enough. I have 2 5-foot tape measures, so I don't know. I'll figure out a way to figure out how high up we are. I am, whatever. So, but just in case, I'm gonna put this in the pile of books going bye-bye because what? Because I don't know if that's even going to be of good use to me right now, and since I don't intend on moving from this apartment for a while, keeping around a book on gardening for butterflies when I'm too high up for them would be silly. So just to be on the safe side, that's going there because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make use of it. Johnny Gunn is staying.
YGS every Friday. Again, this sucks. That sucks. It's terrible. Really cool inside joke, but if you want to share
this is
that to the
definitely
world, it's not going to translate at all. So
FP
let me take something
Sometimes.
we all know about people who correct other people's
Vampire
grammar
Junction,
and
sometimes
Did you know
groundbreaking novel of
that
vampire
correcting
horror,
other people's
introduced Timmy
grammar is a sign
Valentine, a
of
world
high
famous rock
intellect
star,
and social
with the body of a
skill?
12-year-old
Of course, I
boy
had to find
and
a
the
picture of
ageless
someone
soul.
going,
Okay,
actually,
okay,
and
I
the
do
person
intend
that
to
came
read
was,
this.
"I don't know exactly."
Exactly
So,
when,
I don't
I'm
know
not
what
sure.
you guys- so like I
Probably
said,
not this
download
next
all the
6
highlights,
months,
pictures,
but I
links
do
in the
intend
description below.
to
Share
get
them
to
with
it.
all your friends, and then maybe we can do the
If not
follow-up
this next
episode
6
called
months,
Bamboo.
definitely eventually.
Today's video was sponsored by
We've
Movie.
also got
Now, you might know
Anne Rice's
them for rocking the
Teltos
watch
with the
industry, but now
hardbacks.
they're kinda
Again,
rocking the sunglasses
I don't
industry.
necessarily
They have
think I'm going to
dozens,
get to it
maybe
right away,
hundreds of styles of
but
sunglasses for both men and women. So many
and as in
styles,
right
it's
away,
enough
I
to
mean
make a grown man
the next
cry.
6 months.
In fact, I cry. I'm crying right now. because
Seriously,
I'm
that's the only
emotionally
Super
comfortable with
Stackhouse
myself.
book
Now,
left?
I've had this pair for a while, but right now,
Because
I
I know I
bought the
dumped off
Navigator
most
just
of
'cause it
them
looks pretty
when I
badass.
decided that
And
they
they
just
have
weren't
the
very
style
good,
as well.
therefore
And
not
all
good
their
enough to keep
styles come with
around.
a polarized lens option, which means you can stare directly at the sun for hours and not harm your eyeballs. Isn't
I
that
don't
neat? In
know
fact, that's
why
Movement's
this is
motto.
here,
Stare at
but
the sun with dark
just
glasses, please.
just for
Joke
entertainment
aside,
purposes, I have a copy of the Book of Mormon that I got from I don't know, some website that gave out a free Book of Mormon. So it shouldn't be filed in this on this shelf, but this is definitely a keeper. I have a free Quran from a website that offers free copies of the Quran. There's my water bottle.
See why movement keeps growing. Check out
So
their
that's like
expanding collection.
for
Again, that's movement.com/.
reference, entertainment purposes, whatnot. Okay. I do intend on reading The Chaperone again, not necessarily what is going on. I'm going through books that I'm going through books. I'm going through my books, possibly making occasional commentary on whatever the hell video is playing behind me. Fuck if I know. But yeah, I'm going through my books to figure out what's staying, what can go, what's a maybe, what's definitely staying. So yeah, if you think you might be genuinely interested in anything that's going in the bye-bye pile, which is right in front of me, right now I've got a copy of, this is definitely staying, but this also needs to be alphabetized properly, so. Right now in the bye-bye pile, we've got Phantom of the Opera in hardback, just because I have another edition of it. We've got one of the Charlene Harris Sookie Stackhouse books, definitely dead. I don't have the rest of them because I picked up a bunch of them from some combination of free shelf at one of the libraries or LFL, and I thought I'd returned them all to, or like redonated them or whatever, after I picked up the first couple ones and decided that they weren't very good. This one was still hanging around apparently, so, and possibly in the bye-bye pile, though I do need to do a little bit more research to figure out if my third floor that I'm up on is too high up for butterflies. We've got the Butterfly Garden, which is just like a little gardening advice book. It's got tips on what all kinds of it's also got information on conservation of butterflies and gardening clubs and butterfly enclosures, little plans on that and all of that. So I need to find out if my floor is too high up for attracting butterflies to my balcony. If it is, if I am too high up, considering that I don't intend on moving anytime too soon, I do eventually want to expatriate to Ireland, but I don't mind if I have to wait 10 years to do that. But yeah, like, if this is not going to be any good to me, like, if I'm too high up to make this any good to me in the next 5 years, then I might as well say goodbye to it. But that's That's only in the bye-bye pile just to be safe because I need to research that a little bit first. Let's see. I go through my books around the solstice months and figure out what's staying, what's going, what I will probably get around to reading, but so yeah, I've got a definitely want to keep, whether to read it, reread it, or for some other purpose, like collecting a series and just wanting to have it just for the sake of having it, like all my Wraeththu books, or like that gardening book. That's technically a reference. I like to keep all, if not, or most, if not all of my reference books. Hi, cat. Hi. Yes, I see you, Murnau. We all see you. You're very cute and very fluffy, and you're very, very pretty, and you got such a sweet little face. And so yeah, if I have a reason for keeping it, like reading it, rereading it, collection, bragging rights, I've got some weird shit that I don't even know where it came from. Actually, I know where a few things came from, but that's another story for another time. And then I've got a maybe pile, like, I'm going to give myself 6 months to think about it. So is it going to be in the stay pile within 6 months, or is it going to be in the bye-bye pile within 6 months? And then there's the bye-bye pile, which first I go to Don Shredder in town and try and sell whatever in here that I can. If I cannot, then it gets donated somewhere. But I figure when I'm going to do a sweep of these things during a live stream, when at all possible, I will give, if anybody watching is seriously interested in buying anything from me, feel free to hit me up a private message over on Instagram. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me online. Or my email is in a bunch of is in the description box of most of my videos, but my spam filters get a little overzealous at times. So email at your own risk. Instagram will definitely be able to get a hold of me.
Please subscribe for more fake facts. Also, click right here to see the previous episode. Here's a clip. How is Game of Thrones going to end? I don't know. My mom
Okay.
We'll let me watch.
So,
Don't care.
this would be The Firebrand by Marion Zimmer Bradley. She's quite a, oh my gosh. The person who had this before I picked it up from the free shelf. Look at that. He's got Black Cat book plates. Oh my gosh. I want Black Cat book plates. Yeah, she's a really problematic figure. She's both she and her ex-husband, Walter Breen, have had allegations of child sexual abuse leveled against them, both before and after they each died. I do intend to read that, though. I've been told by a friend of mine who has read it that it's good for all the reasons it shouldn't be, and bad for all of the reasons it should be. So, then again, this would be my friend Renee, who's oh wait, did she and her girlfriend move back? I don't remember if they're still in, I don't remember if they're still in Portland or if they, no, they moved back to Providence. They were originally in not Boston, but, Summerlin, Massachusetts. No, that's where Gavin, her girlfriend, grew up. She grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and they lived in Baltimore, but they moved to Providence, Rhode Island, when Renee got a job with Apple, I believe.
Let's assume they're true, or else it's kind of boring to read stories being like, oh, this is all
So,
bullshit, right? Before we get into the video,
So, I have a French copy of The Stranger by Albert Camus. Oh, shit. I want to watch this. I'm gonna pause this until I get done with at least this shelf. So this is a copy of The Stranger by Albert Camus, and I'm not entirely sure where it came from, but this is a French language edition. Will this turn on for me right now? Enable flash, there we go. So this is a French language edition. I don't read French. This is definitely going in the bye-bye pile since, I don't know, I don't even think the bragging rights for this are something I necessarily need in my life. And I'm not saying that for as any kind of disparagement on Camus. I do enjoy his work. I've got The Stranger. I've got The Rebel, and I've got The Myth of Sisyphus. And no, I think those are the only three I've got right now. So I've got a friend who she's another U.S. expatriate living. She's living in France right now. So and she does speak French fairly fluently. Well, I mean, she's been living there about 2 years, going on 2 years. I think it's 2 years next month she's been living there. So I'm going to ask her if she wants this, but if anybody wants to make me an offer for it, like I said, I'd recommend it if you can read French. But otherwise, that's in the bye-bye pile, and specifically going to my friend Allie in Rennes, I believe. I keep thinking that she's a niece, and I don't know why. Let's see. Okay, my Capote is staying. Okay, Gore Vidal is staying. Oh my, this is a fairly old edition. Oh yeah, we've got $1.25 on the price on the cover. I mean, granted, it's film tie-in edition. Let me see. Oh my. Oh, some of these pages are cracking. Okay, this is a 1966 printing, approximately. Oh wait, no, 76. 29th printing, March 1976. The film was 63, I believe, because that has Lulu in it. Oh shit. Okay, it does not have photographs in it. Oh, somebody took some. Oh yeah, this was definitely not me who did this, because that has never looked like my handwriting. Okay, I have read this. I have read To Sir with Love. I am. I don't necessarily see much gained from keeping the book, but I do want to try at Dawn Treader just because it's such an old edition. So I want to try Dawn Treader. If they don't want it at Dawn Treader, which is the big used bookstore downtown, if they don't want it at Dawn Treader, then I'm going to put this up on eBay. In fact, I'm not even going to put it on that pile. I'm going to put it up on the coffee table where cats are a little less likely, because, and I say a little less likely knowing cats are going to be cats, but just because it's not like right at the edge of the coffee table, it's a bit more in the middle, so the cats would have to try extra hard to make this fall. That's what I'm saying. Okay, all my bright, that's staying. My beautiful, my beautiful, incredibly dying copy of 1984. This is, oh, that's lovely. Ooh, something has eaten the glue in this. and you see the cover is completely held together with document tape. I love this. I love this. This is definitely a keeper, not because not simply because well, obviously it's got no resale value at this point. I don't know. It might have a little bit, even in this condition, like a little bit, like, but at the same time, I feel like I'd be lucky if I could get $5 off of it. But I do enjoy this. This is a great one, and minor bragging rights. It survived Murnau at the very least. Oh wait, no. This was like this before Murnau, and I remember because I started fixing it. I started fixing this shortly after I started hanging out with Isaac a couple of years ago, and yeah, this was before. This survived Mr. Midnight, because that's right, because Mr. Midnight used to climb, like he used to find like a weak spot on this shelf with my books to get behind the books, and so he did some of the final digs in this one, and that's it. This is Mr. Midnight. I miss that lovable little dum-dum, though. Mr. Midnight was not a very smart cat. In fact, like, if you've ever seen Hyperbole and a Half, especially that one that she did about thinking that her dog is mentally handicapped, that is Mr. Midnight. Like, she said that she, the final test was like to take a paper cup, put a dog treat under the paper cup, and to see how long it takes the dog to figure out how to, knock over the paper cup to get the treat. And this poor dog could not figure this out. and poor Mr. Midnight, he was a very sweet boy. He was a very sweet cat, but he could not figure out the treat ball to save his life. Like, it's just a simple toy. You put the treats in the ball, and the cat knocks it over to one side or another, and oh wow, this is a fairly early printing of Diary of a Young Girl. Yeah, this one was a 1958 printing. Much like actually this probably has a little bit better resale. Probably not so much. Probably not a whole lot better because it's missing a corner on the back cover, but it is very old. And so yeah, it's probably got in the same area at the very least as my edition of 1984. But yeah, I love that one. What the hell, the Gabriel Hounds? 6 months on the New York Times bestseller list. The new suspense masterpiece by the author of Airs Above the Ground. Wouldn't that be most... Please don't take the remote. That's my remote. Yes, you. You're trying to take my remote. The Gabriel Hounds by Mary Stewart. A Fawcett Crest book, 75 cents. The Gabriel Hounds, like Mary Stewart's previous bestsellers, is rich with authenticity, warm and lively people, and a storyline that will hold you fast till the very end against the exotic backdrop of the Middle East. Unfolded the tale of Christy Mansell, a spirited young Englishwoman who pays an unexpected visit to an eccentric old aunt in a crumbling Arabian Nights palace in Lebanon. Christy does not know it, but the moment she passes through the gates of Dar Ibrahim, she unwittingly sets in motion a dark, sinister force that carries with it both terror and death. Okay, I'll put this in the maybes. Hello. Hey, Nigel back. Okay, more of my Peasy Bright novels. Metamorphosis. Like, that's not properly alphabetized. Why? Neither are these two. What the hell? Okay, let me go with the... Okay, keeping my Nancy A. Collins, keeping my Lemony Snickets. Wait, oh my gosh, I have to brutally alphabetize these things better. Things are just so Morris by Ian Forster is staying here. Plato's Republic should not be here. This should be over there. I don't know why it's over here. Obviously, I need to go through my books. Oh, this is a wonderfully highlighted copy somebody had for classes. Okay, yeah, this definitely needs to go over there, though. So, I don't have a pile of things that need to be moved to their proper spots, so start one there. Okay, Roald Dahl comes before Forster alphabetically. Roald Dahl. Yeah, that's my only guess. Is Isaac was reading The Witches and didn't put it back where it was supposed to be. This is not all of my Fitzgerald. So, and Fitzgerald is staying, and yes, I know. Oh my gosh, Argyle Dinosaur. They brought to my attention, though, in a roundabout sort of way over Twitter, a video somebody made critiquing the critique style of strip cover lit, and the young woman who made the video said that if a white male ever tells you that his favorite authors include Fitzgerald or Hemingway, just run away. And I'm like, but Fitzgerald is one of my favorite authors, and I would say, like, it's not the fact that Fitzgerald or Hemingway are one's favorite authors in and of themselves that is necessarily worthy of cringe, especially Hemingway. But I don't know. I'd say Hemingway's a little bit more cringe than Fitzgerald, but that's a issue I just don't feel like getting into, like, right now, or if ever, especially. But yeah, it's not so much that, liking these authors in and of itself is cringeworthy, but it's why does somebody cite either one or both Fitzgerald and Hemingway as one's favorite authors? Like, why? That's what I want to know, is the why. Like, yeah, because they're so okay. This is another. Actually, hold on, because I think I've got this collection in here. So yeah, I do. So there's this big, gorgeous Fitzgerald edition, and where did I just put those? Oh, right there. Okay. Okay, so I'm actually like really, really impressed. Like, this is not quite as old as I thought it was, but this is a fairly old paperback edition of Tender is the Night. Oh, and yep, Mr. Midnight got to this too. And I can tell this because it has the same teeth marks in it that that my copy of 1984 does. Oh, Mr. Midnight, you sweet little dummy. You sweet little dummy. Oh, and it's on the cover as well. He really put a chomp to these, didn't he? Okay, so this... Oh. I forgot how heavily annotated this was by the person who had it before me, or at least one of them who had it before me. Oh god. Look at... This is kind of like what the margins, what the margin notes look like in my copy of Gothcraft by Raven Digitalis. He's a very, very sweet man, he is, but that is a stupid book. Okay, so what does this all have in it? This Side of Paradise. Okay, This Side of Paradise, Beautiful and the Damned, and the two big short story collections. Okay, so this I don't need since it's in this, so that's in the bye-bye pile. If anybody wants a collection of Fitzgerald shorts, yeah, I thought this. Oh my gosh. Oh, Bernice bobs her hair. I really loved that one. That's okay. Actually, this isn't villain fiction either, but whatever. Okay. Lord of the Flies is staying. At least it is for now. Do I have another edition? I don't know. No, I don't. No, it's the Miserable. I've got H. Shit. Okay, I think I'm going to keep Last Temptation of Christ. Okay. Goddamn. I remember I loved this. But do I love it enough to still keep it? Ooh. This is a film tie-in edition. How early of a film tie-in edition? This is an authorized reprint of a hardcover edition published by Viking Press. That tells me nothing. Like, what year was this one printed? Okay, because 1962 by Ken Kesey tells me nothing. Okay, about the author, Ken Kesey. Okay, at present he is scratching his athlete's foot from Oregon. Okay, this. Okay. Oh. Wait. No, this doesn't tell me anything about it. Okay, so it was at least printed the year that the film came out, which I want to say was that 68, 70 maybe? I don't know. Oh wait, $1.50. What was? Okay, not that. Oh wait. No, that's not the one I was looking at. Okay, I'll figure out how old this is. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, so it's going to be in the maybe pile. Okay, got. Let's go up here. Oh, God. Summer of My German Soldier. This was somewhat formative on me, the year I read this for school, but I think Where the Lilies Bloom had a stronger impact on me, and I have no idea what the hell happened to my copy of that. This is another maybe. Okay. Oh no. Oh, never mind. That was newspaper. Oh God. Seriously. So we've got some old Scholastic Apple classics. Haunting Tales by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And The Gift of the Magi and Other Stories by O. Henry. I don't see myself really rereading those anytime too soon. And if I somehow change my mind after I've already dumped them off on an unsuspecting LFL, then they should be easy enough to acquire again. Okay, my McGinnis stays here. X-Men 2 Boys is definitely staying. Oh, I've got another Orwell. I'd forgotten about that. Where did they? Oh, right there. Here. Okay, so we've also. Oh wow, how old is this? 75 cents. Okay, third printing 1967, so we're at least looking 67 for damn. Okay. Permanent Obscurity by Richard Perez, or A Cautionary Tale of Two Girls and Their Misadventures with Drugs, Pornography, and Death. The American Bismois. Do You Have a Dirty Mind? A youthful bohemian satire, a story of alienated nonconformists, a Girls on the Lam story, a sexploitation and S&M romp, a lampoon of auteur filmmaking, a spoof of media celebrity, and true life tabloid sensationalism. Welcome to the psychosexual world of permanent obscurity. Really? Inspired by the underground sexploitation films of the 1960s. Okay. This bold updating of the roughy subgenre largely takes place in the East Village, circa 2006, and it chronicles the rise and fall of a unique and intense friendship. Dolores and Serena, two chemically dependent, down-and-out artists set out to take control of their lives by making a fetish noir femdom movie. Of course, things don't turn out exactly as planned. Where the hell did I get this from? Kindly pass on this novel for free to someone else who might enjoy it. Thanks. Okay. I don't remember where I got this from, but apparently, I don't know. I think somebody might have gifted it to me, and I'm just like, what? Okay. Yeah, I could probably read this. I don't know. I'll put this in the maybe. I'll put this as a maybe. Okay, this goes with misfiled. Gore Vidal is always going to be a keeper. Okay, I'm definitely keeping my copy of The Princess Bride. I need to dust my copy of The Princess Bride, but I'm keeping my copy of The Princess Bride. Sorry, Milken has. Like Goldman. First Desire, a novel. What the hell? Buffalo, New York, July 1929. Oh, that's why I have this. Yeah, because it's set in the 20s, so of course I have to pick it up wherever it's free, right? On the kind of peerless summer day for which she waits all year, Sadie Feldstein Nikon hears news from her brother that no one ever wants to hear. Their older sister Goldie has vanished. From the Great Depression to the years immediately following World War II, as Sadie and her siblings struggle with the reasons for Goldie's disappearance, Nancy Reisman deftly portrays the love, grief, desires, and deceptions that ultimately bind one American family together. I'm going to say this is a maybe. Mysteries of Adolfo, this is definitely staying. Especially because I think this edition is just Okay. Okay, so that one's staying. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh. Well, I need to finish the Persian boy. Or I need to start it again. Okay, so... Yeah, I do intend to read this, so this is definitely staying. Okay, Cry to Heaven is staying. Genius Ridge is staying. Venus and Furs is staying. Desaad is staying. Oh, shit. So, oh, okay, no, never mind. This one, The Great Controversy, How Will It End? This, I can't, oh god, I can't remember where I found this, but it was sitting in some free books somewhere this one time, and I know this is one of those, like, doomsday ones. So this is misfiled along with Book of Mormon, as is, okay, so the Scientology, I've got a couple Scientology books, and the reason I have them is because when I was living in Cadillac, Michigan 100 years ago, these were at the dollar store. I've got one other Scientology book. So I've got two Scientology books, and they were at the dollar store on a rack of books that were marked 2 for $1. So, like, yes, I know it's a cult, obviously. I know it's just a bunch of hogwash, and when, oh my gosh. So I've got a bunch of zines that I picked up from, and my program from Convergence 20. I don't know what these are doing here on this shelf. I thought they were in with my comics, so okay. Buy this book. Yeah, that's. I've read a couple. I don't know. I've read a few pages in on both of them, and they're both introduced in this way that just basically like explains how to use, your basic good sense to people. Like, oh god, was it this one or was it another one, or the other one? Oh god, one of these. It comes to it. It says at some point in the. No, this was the other one because I remember I underlined it with a pencil. So, yeah, and in the intro to the other Scientology book that I've got, it literally says, if you come to a word you don't understand, go to a dictionary and look up what it means. I'm like, what? People need to be told how to do this when they're, like, older than 10. Like, oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, I guess I kind of understand why I put it in fiction, but that's definitely misfiled. I don't know why. My Babylon 5 books, especially the Centauri and Psycore ones, those are definitely staying. Okay. And I think this was on the floor because of Mr. Midnight being my sweet little dummy. Okay, Desaad is staying. Clarence Thompson is staying. Tom Wolfe is staying. What's this? Nero Wolfe, Champagne for One by Wraeththu, the Grandmaster of Czech. Oh wait, Nero Wolf. This is a really popular series, right? Nero Wolf. I think so. Okay, 5th printing, 1975. Original copyright, 1958. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see myself reading this, but it's fairly old. Probably has some kind of value to it since it's... so that's going to Don Treader as well. Okay, so... this one's a maybe, this one's a maybe, this one's a maybe, these two are maybes. This, I think I am going to read it. Not necessarily in the next 6 months, but eventually. Okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, Cookie Monster. Oh, wait. Where did that? There's a Corvid doll. Oh, it's up there. Okay. Mortal Friends, a novel by James Carroll, author of The City Below. Sweeping from the Irish Rebellion of the early 1920s. Okay, so that's 2 reasons why I have this. To the tumultuous Boston of Mayor James Michael Curley and the Kennedys' mortal friends is the saga of Irish revolutionary Coleman Brady and the choices that shaped his fate. And then we've got a bunch of quotes from people. I feel like this could be a maybe, but it might also be a keeper. I don't know. This is in this weird liminal area. It's like it sounds like something I would want to read, but is it? You know, like, do I realistically see myself reading this ever, or just wanting to read it? I hope that makes sense to somebody. I hope I'm not the only person who ever feels like that about a book. Yeah, realistically, I say it's a maybe. Okay. And, oh, wait, oh, yeah, gotta keep Johnny Got His Gun. A, B, C, D, E, F, Trumbo. Comes after Hunter S. Thompson alphabetically. Okay. Wait, what's this doing there? I don't know. So that's it for these ones here right now. And I don't know. I want to get back to watching my my YouTube videos, and I am a little late for dinner time, which is not just my dinner time, but also the cat's dinner time. So Phoebe has generally forgiven me for all of the stress of yesterday, but not 100%. Like, she and I are not at 100% just yet. I can tell because she still gets really, like, she likes to skitter away when she can tell I want to pick her up for a hug, and that's all I want to do is I want to pick her up for a hug, but she's still remembering yesterday, and when I picked her up and put her into the carrier. So she's still being a bit, she's still being a bit skittish about that for that reason. But I understand. So, I'm not pushing it. I'm just like being all like, because she had 2 years of an unstable situation, because she was in foster for 2 years before I adopted her. Because her deal when I have a video where I introduce the viewer, whoever that may be, to all three of my cats, where I'm just kind of like focusing the camera from the phone on each cat, and I give a little rundown of their story. And so yeah, Phoebe was in foster for about 2 years before I adopted her, and at home she's just fine. She's a very sweet, lovely girl. She loves to be petted. She loves to meet all my friends, and but yeah, it's just when they go to the adoption events at the Petco and stuff, she just stresses out so much that she just kind of like just wants to like look away from the from whatever chaos is going on outside the kennel cage, and she would loaf in her litter box, and I just went up, and I'm just like, and I read the little like info sheet where they wrote about her personality and what she's like at home, and she's just like a very sweet cat who loves laps and loves to meet all of your friends and everything, and there's no reason for them to lie about that on there, because if they do, and the cat turns out to actually be a holy terror at home, then they're going to be very upset with those rescue people, right? So yeah, and I just went up and talked to her, and went to go scratch on her face, and she leaned into me just a little bit, and I could tell that she was, like I kind of felt a connection with her like right away, and so yeah, it's just this last couple months with the exterminator coming in almost every other week. So this is knock on wood, hardwood on my couch. This should have been the last time. So yeah, I just need to go make dinner for myself and for the cats, because they want their wet food, and I did come home, and Nigel's at a point where he knows that as soon as the carrier comes open, it is time for a chicken snack. They I don't have any right here because they ate the last one yesterday. It's in those little pouches, and it's just like a single chicken breast fillet, and just like in some broth with a little bit of a vacuum on it to keep it fresh, and and then it breaks up so finely right away just because of all the juices it's sitting in the vacuum pouch. So yeah, Nigel knows that as soon as you're out of the carrier, it is chicken snack time. So I open up the carrier, and he just loops right back around, and he gets out of the carrier, then loops right back around. It's like, all right, chicken time, bitch, which is adorable. But at the same time, it's like, man, this cat has me whipped, doesn't he? So yeah, and Phoebe came back around for chicken time. Murnau was uninterested in chicken time. He had to go and inspect every room, which, okay, technically it's 3 rooms, but I don't know. There's this one wall here that separates out my twin bed and about like 2.5 feet where you can like walk between the wall and the bed. So I don't know. It's almost like I have a bedroom, but you know, it's an efficiency apartment. So I've got a kitchen, like, and this kitchen is enormous compared to the rest. You know, like, relative to the size of the apartment. I love the kitchen in this place. It's huge. It's a kitchen that's actually usable. I've seen. Oh my gosh. The ex before Isaac, Calvin. I was seeing Calvin. About a year. Oh yeah, winter 2015, 2016. So yeah, I was when I was seeing Calvin, his ex, who he was seeing before me. I kind of knew his ex through different connections, let's say, and I saw her old apartment, and I guarantee you she was paying nearly twice what I am for this place, and Calvin insists her place was half the size. Granted, I think part of the reason that it felt half the size is because she's a trash hoarder, and I mean that like, oh God, yeah. Somebody was making a snarky comment to one of my videos about like, oh holy, I'm like, I clearly just have a couple piles of craft supplies sitting out from half-finished project or like half-started projects. Honestly, some of them, but no, like her place genuinely looked like one of those places that you see on the A&E series. It was kind of ridiculous, but my book collection, I don't know. I've got a mix of things. I'd say I've got equal parts fiction and nonfiction. The nonfiction is a lot of the nonfiction is pagan philosophy. I've got a lot of reference books. I've got a bunch of biographies. Actually, I do have a smallish stack here. Actually, no, this stack is all fairly new stuff that yeah, so this stack is actually we've got a card game, Murder of Crows. This is oh, it scales up to 5. I thought it only scaled up to 4. Okay, so I can bring that to game night sometime. And I've got this Amenti Oracle deck. This is brand new. I grabbed myself this from Barnes and Noble, and I love it. These cards are just gorgeous. I need to do another video about my cartomancy decks. So yeah, here's more of my Fitzgerald, and I was a bit presumptuous putting the McCabe up there. As far as the fiction goes, it's a mix. Obviously, the Wraeththu are usually filed under fantasy or speculative literature, as there is sort of a post-apocalyptic theme to it. So I've seen it filed under speculative literature a lot of times, or speculative fiction. The Wraeththu novels. I've got Nancy A. Collins, so the Sonia Blue vampire novels. I've got I've got 3 of those. I've got some of the Babylon 5 novels. I do love Babylon 5. I've got most of P.Z. Bright's novels. and I say most because I've got 2 of the 4 liquor books, I believe. I've got Lost Souls, Drawing Blood, and Wormwood. I've got Exquisite Corpse, Are You Loathsome Tonight, and Plastic Jesus. Oh, and the Crow novel that they did. He did. He now, back then, generally went by she. And I've got the 2 Love in Vain collections that he edited. Let's see, I've got some Anne Rice. I do love Colin McInnes. He's a British author. Probably his most famous book would be Absolute Beginners. It's basically it's considered a classic amongst the mod subculture. So yeah, I've got a bunch of Anne Rice. I've got a bunch of Edgar. Actually, I've got complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe in one of those big Barnes and Noble editions. I've got the complete fiction by H.P. Lovecraft. I've got complete works of Oscar Wilde. Again, in an omnibus thing, but no, there's actually like a new, recent. I want to say it was first published 2015. It's published as the Uncensored Dorian Gray, or the Uncensored Picture of Dorian Gray, or Picture of Dorian Gray Uncensored Edition. So I do want to get myself a copy of that and maybe do a comparative book review, see exactly how much was edited, because if you know much about the publication of that book, you don't know that it was edited a couple of times, and yet still came out very, very, very gay. I've got that big Lewis Carroll omnibus of Alice's adventure. The 2 Alice novels, plus a whole bunch else. I did a reading of Phantasmagoria one time during my Wednesday live streams. Of course, Fitzgerald. I do love Fitzgerald and Hugo. And yet I've only got Hunchback in an old Signet edition and Les Mis in a big collectible edition. Oh, I've also got a big leather-bound collectible Barnes & Noble thing of 7 novels by Jules Verne. Yeah, a lot of the nonfiction, it could be easily considered like general pagan kind of stuff. Yeah, I need to go through these. So yeah, I've got a lot of novels. I've got a lot of pagan nonfiction. I've got a lot of and novels. It's like I don't know. I don't have one genre I especially prefer over any others. I've got Truman Capote, who's very you can easily call it's very realistic fiction. It's it's a story about people. Breakfast at Tiffany's and Other Voices, Other Rooms are the 2 ones I've got on the shelf right now. I swear I had more of that. I swear I had more Gore Vidal, too. What the hell? Didn't I have another one by Gore Vidal? I've got George Orwell. I've got 1984 and The Road to Wigan Pier. Obviously, Colin McInnes, like I just said. So I've got all of Bright's stuff, which goes from fantasy horror to the liquor books are set in just like the New Orleans restaurant business community. Roald Dahl. As far as favorite authors go, fiction and I would say right now Storm Constantine, and basically this actually just before I sign off the thing to go do dinner. So this shelf here, actually, there's some that I could probably stand to go through. But this shelf here is almost all keepers, and if the sorting on this shelf makes no sense to you, that's because it's not supposed to make sense to anyone but me. Say I've got I've got poetry. I've got Quentin Crisp. Actually, this can go on the other shelf. Same with this too. Okay, so these go to the other shelf of fiction. Evelyn Woe. I've got everything Derek Jarman wrote. And let's see, the pre-Socratics, Socrates fragments. This is a hilarious sun sign book. Outlines of the history of Greek philosophy. Okay, I know I've got that. Then we've got here's about where we get into more pagan stuff. Actually, I could stand to go through this one a little bit more, but not right now. Oh, okay. So this goes. I was wondering what happened to this. But yeah, this can go on the other shelf of fiction. Murnau, hi. We see your lasers, honey. Actually. Oh, hi. This is Queenie Todd. Okay, actually, I think this this is gonna be a maybe. Okay, basic writings of Locke, Berkeley, Voltaire, Hume, Reed, Hamann, and others. That's I mean, it is kind of on the older side, but I think this is going to go on the maybe pile. So, yeah, stuff that's filed poorly, and this, what the hell? Oh, that's right. This was, oh shit, what the hell? So this was in a box of free books, and you can tell how frequently I opened it since then. What the hell? In accordance with the federal civil rights law and U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, civil rights regulations, policies. What the hell? Okay, so we've got a recipe here for cucumber and tomato salad. We've got 2 recipes for cucumber and tomato salad with some stuff about. Okay, sure. Asimov, Complete Robot, who coined the term robotics almost 40 years ago. Oh, that. Okay, it's a book club edition. Now Asimov's Robot Tales have been get. Oh, okay, so this is a. Okay, this is just complete thing of his. Okay, so this. Oh, okay. I know why I have this, and I know why I have this. I have this because I found it on the street, and I wanted to make jewelry with it, and I think a couple fell. And I don't know why this is here. It's probably more Isaac's bullshit. Okay, so here we've got some reference, and also some of my Meat Cake comics, and why is that all the way back there? So there's my copy of Burkert's Greek Religion all the way back. That is, but here we are. My Apostolos Athanakasis, translations of Orphic hymns. Actually, this is an older edition of this. There's a new one out, and the Homeric hymns. This was by a friend of mine, Essays on Hellenic Theology. I am definitely going to read that. More reference. Here we've got Crystal's reference. Obviously, I need to sort some of these a little bit better. Some of these I just got and just stuck them wherever works. Okay. Ooh, 20th anniversary. Oh, I know why I have this. So there was a Reddit gifts exchange, and in fact, the last one I signed up for, I suddenly had no money and could not participate, even though I just signed up for it. But I could not find an easy way to get out of it. So, I think I might have sent back what the person sent to me. Oh wait, no, I don't remember. I don't remember if I sent it back, but I remember with something I sent it back, just because I felt bad that I couldn't do it. So, oh shit, more books fell. So yeah. But this was one that I was able to participate in fully. So I probably should read this. I feel like I will read this, if not in the next 6 months, then eventually. So, and that person also sent me Ronald Hutton's Triumph of the Moon, which, again, I feel like this is just these two are just such mandatory reading for a decent understanding of the modern pagan community, and yet I have not read them. And this, I've got a hardcover copy of Good Omens, which I love, but again, that's not really where I wanted to have that filed. Then we've got, so this shelf here, with the exception of these things sitting on top, is almost all Wraeththu stuff. So you see why this shelf is almost completely keepers, and I was gonna do a thing with this, and I'm still gonna do a thing with it. So I've got more reference. Oh, I need to dust. Okay. So I've got one of those leather-bound editions of Aesop's Fables, but it has different stories from this one, or at least there is some overlap between this one and the other one that's with the little Barnes & Noble Fancy Pants editions that I've got. But yeah, cat. Oh my gosh. So yeah, there is some overlap between what's in here and what's in the other one, but it's not complete overlap. So that's why I have 2 copies of it. So I think when I get around to start doing my 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 little book review series on pagan cringe, I gotta start with this one because this is he's such a sweet guy, but this is such a stupid book. And at least Raven there admits that it's kind of a stupid book. He's actually been begging Llewellyn Publishing, he's been begging them for years to do a second edition of this, just to do a revised and updated edition of this. And it's still selling well enough that they won't let him. So if that's something that should not have gotten out, I apologize. I don't remember if that's something that had to be kept under wraps, or if it's because at this point it is still officially not something that's going to happen. It's whatever. But I do. But yeah, I was. I actually offered with a review I did of this for one of my old blogs. I kind of offered in that review that I kind of offered in that review, like toward the end, that if he ever planned to do a revised and updated edition of this, that I would be more than willing to help iron out some of the stupid from this, and that's when he first contacted me over Facebook, I believe, and um, and then like sent me a private message, and we were talking about, okay, well, maybe we could do this, because, and he'd actually said, like, this is actually like kind of a personal, like, it's a little bit like, I think I overestimated a lot of my own knowledge and a lot of things when I was writing this book, and so, like, he said he wrote most of this when he was 22, and he was born in 1982, but this wasn't published until 2006, so I think just to get it out of my system, when I start doing my video book review series of pagan cringe titles, this has to be the first one, just because I know it will be with his blessing, because he and I have talked at length about this, and how it's actually kind of frustrating that the publisher won't let him do a revised and updated edition, simply because it's still selling well enough. And I'm like, that doesn't mean, like stupid books sell well all the time, but they're still pulled if the information is decided later to be inadequate. So yeah, this is the free Quran I mentioned earlier that I got. I don't remember the name of the website, but I'm sure you'll find it if you just search free Quran. I've got some Ovid. I got a bunch of Ovid compared to like how much Ovid actually exists. I've got all my Subgenius books. Actually, I might be missing a Subgenius book, but I've got like the 4 main ones. I think this is an earlier edition of one that just made me cringe just to go through it. Oh, good morning. I say good morning 24 hours a day. And yeah, this is definitely going in the cringe reviews here. So yeah, like just about everything on this shelf is staying. None of this is leaving ever. Okay. 2 of these are new, and the other 2. So let's see. Definitely keeping and reading this one. And I just got this. And if you missed me on Instagram about a month or 2 ago, when I first saw this at Crazy Wisdom, so this here alone is why I need this book. Yeah, it's mostly all right. Phoebe is almost completely forgiven me for yesterday. So there's this cat here who's just watching this cat here, and it's like, what is this guy here plotting? I mean, he's a cat, so you know he's up to no good. But this cat here, he's just like being all like curious and stuff, and I want to know what is going through this one's mind, right? This alone is why I need this book. Yeah, Phoebe's mostly forgiven me, but not completely. But she'll be completely forgiving of me in, I don't know, at least another day or 2. Okay. See, this is one of those ones where I think I want to read it. So it's like there's this one and something else. Something else that is in my pile of sorted books where I'm like, okay, do I really want to read like this one? Do I really like? I kind of want to read it, but I'm not sure if I realistically will. Like, in its disfavor is it says a novel of suspense, and while I do enjoy many of the suspense tales that I have read, it's not something that I necessarily go looking for. And just like reading the flaps, it's like it sounds interesting enough. Oh yeah, she had Phoebe had the usual chicken snack that they usually do when they come home from being out in the carriers for whatever reasons. She had that. She had that yesterday when we got back, and this is another one like that where it's like I kind of want to read this, but I'm not sure if I realistically will. You know, it's like, will I read it? So, like, just by default, it has to go in the maybe pile. And then, oh god, I really need to steam this couch. So, okay, I do know that this is definitely a keeper, and why is it on the floor, then? And this is also definitely a keeper. And she is, I definitely want to read this. I wanted to read this for so long, but it's one of those ones that like I've wanted to read it for a long time, but it just kept getting pushed back by other things that I started reading. So here's the big fancy leather bound ones that I was mentioning earlier. So pretty. And then here's all the fiction that's staying around. And then we've got a short maybe pile for now. And oh wait, yeah, these are all fairly new or new enough. And this is the current state of the stack that are going bye-bye. So Phantom of the Opera, one of the Suki Stackhouse books, probably this Butterfly Garden one, which is just like a gardening advice and stuff book. But I need to make sure that I need to know if my apartment balcony is too high up for butterflies, because I'm on the third floor, which is the top floor of this building. But and then I've got these where it's like, I do enjoy Hawthorne, but I'm like, this is, I don't know, it's just such a slim thing that I've had since like junior high or something. Oh, Henry, I don't see myself coming back to this very much. I've got this in that big fancy leather-bound edition one, and I do not read French, so why I have a French language copy of The Stranger is anybody's guess, but I'm going to offer it to my friend Allie. Yeah, I'm gonna offer this one to my friend Allie before I try to see if Don Treader or anybody else wants to buy it, and if not, then it's getting donated. So for now, like I said, this is the bye-bye stack of books. This is a maybe stack of books where I'm going to give myself about 6 months. So the next time I come do this, which is going to be the next solstice month, so December. So I'm going to give myself 6 months to decide whether I am going to read them or whether they're going to go bye-bye. And then there's this stack here, which is all just like, I don't know. And they were sitting on top of the record player for a bit, so now they're right over here for some reason. And I need to go... So I need to go make dinner for myself and the cats, and I don't know, probably get caught up on some YouTube videos. And so I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna see if I can stream again. I don't know, probably. Well, it's technically the Wednesday AM hours, so I don't know. later today / tomorrow, whatever. I don't know. I'll see if I can stream again. If not, if so, I don't know. Well, I do definitely want to make a big edited video just to, like, I don't know, just show off all the books in the bye-bye pile to see if anybody wants that. To see if anybody wants to call dibs before I take them all to sale at Dawn Treader, and then whatever doesn't sell there, like, just dump them off on the various donation spots I can think of. So, all right, bats and kisses all, and the cats definitely know it's dinner time. Actually, Murnau is having some fun. He's being adorable. So, obviously, I have not put the cats away. I have some of that Nature's Miracle foam because we had 2 stress pea babies yesterday, which was not only Nigel, who I'm used to at this point with this sometimes. Actually, it seems what gets him stress peeing is some of the sidewalks where it's a little less than level. So if we come to a bumpy spot in the road while we're walking with his carrier, that seems to set off his bladder a little bit. But yeah, Phoebe had some stress pee yesterday, and oh, she's over by the kibble. Oh, but Murnau is like kind of hiding behind the carrier. Uh-oh. He's gonna pounce. Oh, there he goes. See, this is why I got him that play tunnel. But whenever I take it out and unload the spring on that play tunnel, he doesn't want to use it. So yeah, after I take the Nature's Miracle foam to the carriers, which is really the easiest way for me to clean these carriers. Like, I know people are going to be like, yeah, it costs so much, do this one thing instead. I'm going to be like, yeah, but it's a carrier, and it's, I don't know, they're just so cumbersome to clean anyway. So I will suck up the extra couple of dollars if it means that it's going to be a little easier to clean. So I got to clean the carriers with the foam. I'm going to do that tonight. And I'm going to do that tonight after dinner. And I'm saying it out loud so I don't forget. And so in the morning, these things are getting folded up. This is getting folded up, and this is getting folded up because it does fold up. And this is getting as folded up as it can be. Yeah, I took the bubble off of it and put the little the one with the holes on it instead, just because while it was scheduled to rain yesterday, it's been a bit warmer than usual. So all the carriers were very well ventilated yesterday. So, because apparently people think I'm an idiot who doesn't think about things like, whether or not cats are gonna be overheated and stuff. And it's like, oh God. So we were at my psychiatrist yesterday, and actually one of the receptionists. So because these cats are not trained service animals, meaning I just have the certificate, for ESA. So they don't need training for that, to get a certificate or a doctor's note saying that they're an ESA that, are good for my own mental health and abilities. Oh, geez, I need to eat. So yeah, because they're not trained service animals, I was not allowed to bring them into my psychiatrist's office with me. And keep in mind, this was like a 20-minute appointment. So I called and I talked to one of the receptionists before I showed up with 3 cats. And I said, hey, I just need to know if this is going to be okay. And if not, I would like a solution, because I didn't have really enough time to reschedule the appointment. And obviously, I couldn't leave them with the, you know, bug poison being, you know, laid out, you know, like before that was all dried up. So actually, one of the receptionists offered to stay out in the atrium with them, which would be like the big corridor between all the offices. So like there's our office with my psychiatrist, and then like there's the waiting room, and then like the back offices. But so like just before the atrium is you know, so there's this, or yeah, so there's the glass wall all around the waiting room facing the atrium. So she just decided to like take her lunch late, and she hung out with the cats and the atrium, and all the other receptionists at some point filed out to come, like, you know, say hi to my cats. So yeah, it actually like went pretty well. I went in there, and we're pretty sure what was going on with my meds was it's possible 30 milligrams was a bit much to go up to at this time, especially when I have all these stressors going on, which were spiking my anxiety. That, like, you know, if I'm having an especially anxious time, you know, the stimulants won't help with that, and could actually, you know, make the anxiety a little worse, and could actually, like, you know, even it, you know, with an ADHD brain like I've got, it could, so it does help with focus, but if I'm having an anxious time, I will focus on the wrong things. So, which just starts the loop of anxiety again. So, yeah, we went back down to the 25 milligram on the Adderall for now, and now that things are going to be a little less stressful over the next couple weeks, hopefully, keep fingers crossed. So yeah, now that things are going to be starting to, you know, things are going to be a little less stressful, hopefully. We're going to see how this goes, and see if 25 is still good through the summer, or if I need to go back up to 30. But I also did meet the new psychiatrist residence. I did meet her yesterday at the appointment as well. This is the first time this has ever happened with me, so my guess is, like, maybe it's just the timing of the appointment. So, all right. Okay, really going this time. Got to make dinner. Got it for myself and the cats. And we're now, it's like, see, this is why I got him a play tunnel. But I don't think he's ever going to use it until these are all folded up and put away like they should be. Because a little goofball. Please focus on Kitty. Please focus on Kitty. There we go. We love Kitty. Jesus. Fuck. I just vacuumed yesterday. Like, I literally vacuumed yesterday, and look at all this stuff on the floor again. This was not here when I got home yesterday. Cats did this. Like you, Nigel Butt. I don't know why my lunchbox is still sitting on top of my harmonium. Please don't ask. Nigel. Say goodbye to the folks, Nigel. We're really disconnecting this time.